Hello, my friend, David Burns. Good to be with you in the green chair answering your questions. And if you haven't ever watched my videos, this is the green answer chair. I'm answering questions left over from my live stream. I'm out in the bee yard actually, and like to answer your questions today. I'm going to be doing an experiment. You have so many questions left over from my live stream on Thursday night that I've made it into 3 different videos is what I'm going to be doing. So today, this is Saturday, I'm going to post, if all goes well, 3 videos, maybe a few hours apart, and that way you don't have to watch a whole hour-long video of me answering questions. But let's jump right into it. I have 10 to 20 dead bees outside my hive that have accumulated over the last week. Is this a strong indication of a hive varroa mite count? Mite load? No, not necessarily. Boy, I don't think so at all. Remember, the varroa destructor is a parasite. And while parasites like the varroa destructor can kill bees, they do, but they are a parasite. So they, you don't think of most parasites killing their host. So in the case of the varroa destructor, the death is caused from the viruses that they spread. So those viruses may take a little bit longer, have a sublethal effect on the bees later in the fall and this winter. So I would say 10 to 20 dead bees in a week is just normal activity of bees dying naturally, and they just drop them outside the hive. I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about there. The only way I would say though, please know that the way that you know the virus loads or your mite loads is to do an alcohol wash on your bees. I've made videos about that. Then you get a mite count established, and then you can watch it every 30 days. Do another test every 30 days to see if the mites are increasing or not. Does the hole need to be centered on an entrance reducer, or can you just put a 1x1 piece of wood an inch short of the entire length, thus making the entrance on one side? I've found, Doug, it doesn't make any difference at all. Some people feel like maybe in the middle makes more sense, but I kind of think that bees seem to like, and they favor one side. Now, if you look behind me here, I don't think you're going to see any entrance reducers on there at all right now. The bees are really working hard. It finally cleared off. A lot of clover, white Dutch clover out in the bee yard today. Around the area, so they're out there working hard. Even black locust trees are still doing really good. That's Robinia, pseudo acacia tree that I'm referring to, and we have a lot of those around here. They're in all 48 lower states, and they make a lot of nectar this time of the year. So that's what my bees are going to right now. Anne wants to know, have you used the new oxalic acid strips? And if so, what do you think of them? I've answered this question a lot. That's for Roxanne. I did use them last year, late in the year, because they just came out late in the year last year. And so I actually started using them, and I didn't get a chance to do some good studies, but I am doing that right now. Watch for future videos. Laurel, I recently had a large swarm move into an old 10-frame box. It had a couple of old frames, and I added more to total 10. I want to change the equipment. Move or switch equipment first? I would say switch. I don't like moving things. So if I've got to change my configuration, what I'm going to do is just change it so that it's in its final boxes and equipment that I want to use. I don't want to have to switch it and then move it all again. Hey, David and Sherry, I caught a swarm in some spare gear. Good for you. That's fun. They've been in there for about 5 days, 30 frames of bees in 4 boxes. Top box is undrawn frames. How long should I wait to manipulate and inspect? Let's see, you caught it, they've been in there 5 days. I'd let them stay in there about 10 to 12 days, just shy of a couple of weeks. Just let them settle down, let everybody get familiar with their home. I think that's going to work out really good. It's my first time in a live. Oh, you were in the live stream Thursday night. By the way, be sure and check out my live stream every Thursday night. These questions are left over from the ones I couldn't answer. It's 59-minute live stream, and I answer questions, I teach, and I also have giveaways, and it's a time for you to ask your questions. So check out my live stream every Thursday night. Last week we had over 800 beekeepers from around the US and around the world that joined us. A lot of fun hanging out, and the chat, being able to talk with other beekeepers in the chat is awesome. A lot of fun. I just think you're going to have a ball. Here's the link to that live stream. So be sure and join us. So thanks for being there. First time there. Hey, George, I have 5 colonies swarm. I had a second deep for a couple of weeks. I don't understand why. Please give me your thoughts on been beekeeping for a few years, 3rd year. Thanks. Let me read that again. I had 5 colonies swarm. Okay. All had a second deep on for a couple of weeks. I don't understand why. So you don't know why they swarmed, even though you had plenty of room for them to expand. Okay, probably a reproductive swarm, meaning that they wanted to make another beehive, just like all animals swarm, and they're wanting to reproduce. That's probably what's going on. Although even with 2 deeps on, they can still run out of room and have a congestion swarm. So either of those 2 reasons, very likely, George. Not sure which one happened. Why do our honeybees keep swarming? Alex has the same problem, apparently. Well, bees like to reproduce. If bees didn't reproduce via a swarm, when half the colony leaves with the old queen and the bees left behind raise a new queen, and the old queen leaves with half of the colony, and they fly away mile or so away and form a new colony. That's how bees reproduce. So they keep swarming to reproduce. Yeah. Dave, Northeast Missouri, I keep 10 to 12 colonies on a deck in a row, 3 feet apart. Seen that a lot before. They always seem to find their way, but would they thrive more spread out in the field? Thanks. I doubt it. You might get drifting 3 feet apart on a deck like that. You might get more drifting. Certainly you're going to have more drifting causing more mites. It is scientifically proven that if you spread your hives out 50 yards or something crazy like that, there'll be less drifting, and there'll be less mites that will be contaminating one hive to another. So there are pros and cons. You're doing it for your benefit, aren't you? I'm the same way. Look back here. They're all close together. That's for my benefit, not necessarily the bees. So I understand that. Would it benefit them? Not really, as far as, having that many hives, 10 to 12 colonies on the same property. They're all fighting for the same amount of nectar out there. It's just a convenience for you, I think. Jason, 2nd year beekeeper. I'm trying to understand whether to remove entrance reducers or not. Last year, I removed them on all year to keep unwanted last year I left them on all year to keep unwanted intruders at bay, but am I restricting my hives? Like I've said before, I've spent years taking bees out of houses and businesses, and it's amazing what small little openings bees can go through and make a lot of comb and honey in there. So I don't think that's going to be a big problem. I think for us, it feels better if our bees can fly in and out a very spacious area. Stella, I'm a new beekeeper. Well, nice to see you, Stella. Thank you for being a beekeeper. Welcome. I found larvae in my pollen patty. I figured it was hive beetle larvae. What should I do? You figured correctly. More than likely it is. And what you should do is not use those patties because it is attracting the small hive beetle larvae. And you need to start trapping the adult mama beetles. So a lot of us have a lot of ways of doing that. We use oil traps. We use like those little, I don't know what to call them. They're like a microfiber cloth. Some people call them dryer sheets, Swiffer pads. I mean, there's all kinds of names for them. You can buy them from bee companies, and they're microfiber in such a way that the beetles' feet get caught on them and they die there. You can use those. You can also use, let's see, other small hive beetle ways of trapping small hive beetle. A lot of people ask me a lot about diatomaceous earth, below the hive. That probably is effective on killing the larvae. Some beekeepers are now using Grub X lawn care product to keep your grubs down, and it will kill small hive beetle around your hives and all, or in your yard. It's not really licensed for small hive beetle on the label, but if you're treating your yard for something else, it's going to kill the larvae of small hive beetle. So that's what you need to do. Keep small hive beetle under control before they get to the larvae stage. Absolutely. All right, do you have a favorite style of honey jars or containers? What's your preferred variety or size? I suppose it depends on your target audience. And selling versus gift honey. Pulling some honey super soon. Yeah, I have sold large amounts of honey to people that use it for everything in their homestead house, you know, and they buy 5 gallons at a time of honey. I've had people want me to provide smaller jars for wedding gifts at weddings, so you use a teeny tiny little bottle, smallest one you can find. It really does depend on your target audience. But remember, if you're selling at a farmer's market or something like that, you're probably going to do better selling not bigger than a pound. Because a lot of people that aren't beekeepers, who aren't crazy about honey, a pound will last them their lifetime. A pound's going to last me breakfast. I don't know if that, you know, I like a lot of honey, but so it is going to be about your target audience. Hi, Mary Ann Livingston. I am finally running low on wood frames with foundation. What are your favorite frames? My favorite frames are wood frames with Acorn double wax foundation. This is not a promotion of Acorn frames. They're not paying me to say this. They just work for me, and I like to share what works for me. Patrick Stevenson, my videographer and friend. Since drones can't sting, do they emit alarm pheromones? Nope. No, they don't, Pat. They don't have any alarm pheromones. The alarm pheromone is in the worker bee, and it is in the venom sac. So it is around and associated with the venom sac. And since the drones don't have that, they have the male genitalia. But drones do have a little bit of pheromone that they will exhibit when they are gathering together in a drone congregation area, just to tell all the other drones this is kind of where we're hanging out. But they're not big drone guys, you know, or big pheromone guys, no. And certainly no alarm pheromones. I've got a lot more questions, and I'm going to make 2 more videos today. But this is my first video answering some questions, keeping it short for you guys. And if you want to watch the other ones with more questions, I think these are helpful for beekeepers that are wondering the same thing, even though that may not be your question. If you'd like to watch the live stream where these questions originated from, check out the last Thursday's live stream right over here. I talked a lot about queen issues. I'll see you over there.